Imagine wearing a shield that not only protects your body, but also safeguards your mind. For first responders, mental wellness can be the difference between surviving and thriving in a career filled with high stakes and stress. And in today's episode, we're going to uncover practical strategies to build that invisible shield, helping you manage trauma, break the stigma around mental health, and develop the emotional resilience you need to stay strong on and off the job. Today, we're diving into a critical topic: mental wellness strategies for first responders. We know the job isn't just physically demanding, it takes a toll on our mind as well. You're exposed to trauma, stress, and emotional exhaustion daily, but your mental well-being is just as important as your physical well-being. So in this episode, we're going to discuss why mental health awareness is key to longevity in this field. We're going to explore the role of emotional resilience through self-care and highlight the importance of building a strong, supportive network. And by the end of the episode, you'll have some actionable strategies to protect your mental health and guide visualization to help you create a mental shield against the stress of the job. So let's get started and dive into how you can shield your mind and build your resilience for a healthier, stronger you. Welcome to Shields Down, Healing for First Responders, the podcast supporting those on the front lines as they navigate PTSD and trauma. Each episode brings stories of resilience, expert insights, and tools for recovery, offering hope and a path forward. So put your shield down, reclaim your strength, and remember, you're not alone. So first of all, the importance of mental health awareness is crucial, right? As first responders, we're often exposed to trauma and high stress situations, which are going to take a toll on our mental wellness. So you want to recognize early signs of mental fatigue, stress, or even PTSD, and understand that mental health is just as important as physical health. Now, you're going to encounter intense traumatic events. It's part of our job. It's what we do. And when you begin to understand that these can cause mental strain, these can cause unwanted stress, it can lead to burnout, it can lead to being diagnosed with post-traumatic stress disorder, that's when you're going to begin to work on your life. And having this awareness is going to help you recognize these early signs, and it's going to help you seek timely support. Now, I know most of the times we're frightened about seeking support. And sometimes we do it later than we really should. I feel that as first responders, we should be meeting with somebody, a coach, a peer support group, a counselor, a therapist, something like that, at least once a week. Just to get out of your head things that have happened, things that you want to adjust, things that you need to learn about yourself. And then you can begin to build towards the future. You know, I know most of us, some of us as first responders, we work out, right? Our physical fitness is really emphasized in training and on the job. But mental health, which is equally vital, kind of gets brushed under the rug, which is why I do these. And I'm hoping that I can help and lead this new path. I know that there's so many other people out there, and if I don't resonate with you, I trust that you find somebody that does. Because you need to prioritize your mental health. You need to prioritize your mindset, because it's only going to push you farther into that next level that you're trying to get to. And when you can learn to balance your physical health and your mental health, you're going to have this overall sustained well-being, and it's going to have your performance move to that next level. But we got to break that stigma. You know, we got to break that conversations where we don't talk about mental health. It's a part of life. I find that during my shifts, at least once or twice, I'm talking about mental health around other people, around coworkers, to let them know it's okay, to let them know that how they're feeling is okay, to seek the help. And I've found there are quite a few people that are seeking the help, and that's absolutely amazing. And I trust that my listeners, you guys are going to seek the help too, because we have to break this stigma. By fostering a new culture where mental health concerns are recognized and addressed without judgment, we're going to more likely see other first responders seek the support early. And this is going to help lower that mental health, the breakdown that officers feel. But I find that you want to build emotional resilience through self-care. Now, developing resilience is key to maintaining mental wellness in these high-pressure situations that we face. But practicing regular self-care, such as things like mindfulness practices, during physical exercises, or simply just taking time for yourself, is going to help you cope with this emotional toll that our work can cause, and it'll reduce to burnout. Right? Resilience acts as like a buffer against stress and trauma. And it doesn't stop it, right? I talked to you about that before. It doesn't stop the trauma, but you're able to understand it more. You're able to move into that next level. And it allows you to bounce back quicker from difficult situations and continue to perform more effectively. And that's what we're going for, my friends. We're trying to create that circle where it's like you hit a trauma, you understand your trauma, you deal with your trauma, and then you come right back around and begin to create that life that you want until you hit your next trauma. Right? Resilience, it doesn't end what you're going to hit. Right? It helps you adapt to those positively, to those challenges, fostering that growth. Right? Positive psychology talks all about that. It talks about creating that new positive outlook, building that new or even old look of different situations that you're going through. And when you can begin to reframe those situations that you've been through and go, okay, I understand that what I went through in the past is tough. I want to try to look at it from a different light. I want to try to look at it from a more positive outlook. This is when it's going to change that actual event for you, right? I look back sometimes at my loss of my son, or maybe some situations that I've gone through at work, and I can look back at those situations and go, what did I learn from these? Where can I grow from these? I can't change what happened, but I can move forward, and I can create different reframing structures for what I went through. Developing resilience through self-care practices is essential for sustaining emotional well-being while you're going through these demanding and often traumatic experiences. Some practical self-care strategies that you can use are things like mindfulness techniques, right? Meditation, slowing yourself down. Or maybe you do some physical exercise or activities, so you speed yourself up. But in between all that, you need to slow down. You need to get adequate rest, right? What are things that you like to do? Most of the time we're focused so much on that event, so much on that negativity in our life, we forget about those hobbies that we love to do, or those activities that we do that bring us joy. You have to create these self-care routines that you need because they're individual. I'm going to benefit out of certain things different than you're going to benefit out, right? I love creating courses. I love creating these podcast episodes. And they're kind of what works on my self-care. I also love woodworking. I love playing soccer and hockey and doing these sports, playing with my kids, enjoying a nice walk with my wife, right? These different little self-care routines that I've created in my life are what kind of keeps me moving forward. So you have to find what works for you. And you have to also make sure that you've integrated them into your schedule. Because I know that as first responders, we have a busy schedule sometimes. Sometimes we don't. But when you're working on this, you want to make sure that you're finding time to take care of yourself. Because as I've said before, you can't fill from an empty cup. You can't help others if you're broken. You also want to look within your organization to see what's available. You want to find what's available, see what's going on. Go, okay, what can we start here if there's nothing? Right? Because when you have that supportive environment, it's going to encourage those open conversations about mental health. It's going to reduce the stigma. It's going to promote this proactive self-care practices that people do. Maybe there's people around you in your work that do things for themselves that might work for you. And maybe you guys create like a hiking group and you guys all go and talk and work through whatever you're working through. Maybe you go for a run. Whatever it is, find something. And if you're a leader within your organization, you're listening to this, lead by example. Prioritize your self-care and then start these groups. And say, look, I want to get you guys come for a run with me. Or let's go to the range and shoot. Or let's go, whatever it is. Let's go do this. So that you can begin to create that within your organization. First responders, we have to not hesitate on leaning on these support systems. We have to break that down and say, look, it's what I need. I need to do this. Right? It's going to remove that stigma. It's going to remove so much within your life. And as always, I want to leave you with an exercise. An exercise that I call mentally shield visualization. So the best time to do this exercise is at the beginning of your shift, right before you're about to go out and support your community. So there's 6 steps that you want to do, and you want to spend somewhere between 3 and 5 minutes. So first of all, find a quiet place where you won't be disturbed for that time. Now close your eyes and take a deep, slow breath. Visualize a protective shield forming around your mind, around your body, around your vehicle, around you, as big or as small as you need to. Now imagine the shield being made of something strong, steel, light, or any material that feels indestructible to you. And as you continue breathing, visualize this shield growing stronger and more resilient with each breath, blocking out negativity, stress, and trauma, while allowing in only positive, supportive energy. Now stay in this state for 3 to 5 minutes, feeling protected and strong within your mental shield. And when you're ready, slowly open your eyes and carry the sense of protection with you throughout your day. Now this exercise, it can be done daily. It can be done daily to reinforce that mental resilience and emotional protection. So I suggest doing it, spending 3 to 5 minutes before your shift. Try it. Try it for a week. And if you don't feel any different after your shift, then stop doing it. It's something that I find really protects me. It protects my mind. It protects, the people around me. And it's just an energy that I give to this. So try it. So as we wrap up today, I want to leave you with a final thought. Now, just as you gear up with physical protection every day, protect your mind. It is just as important. Mental wellness, it's not a luxury. It's a necessity for thriving in a career as demanding as ours. And by recognizing the early signs of stress, practicing self-care, and leaning on your support systems, you can build resilience and safeguard your mental health for the long run. The mental shield we talked about today is something you can reinforce daily. Remember, it's about creating that space for your mind to rest, recover, and grow stronger after each challenge you face. Thank you so much for joining me on this journey towards better health and better mental health. And as always, if you found today's tips helpful, don't forget to share this episode with a fellow first responder who might need it. Together, we can break the stigma around mental health and build a community that thrives on and off the job. And just one final note, I have added a free PDF in the description box of just a printout that you can follow along for today's exercise. Thank you for tuning in to Shields Down, Healing for First Responders. Remember, healing is a journey, and each step forward matters. Now, if today's episode resonated with you, share it with someone who might need it. And don't forget to subscribe for more stories, insights, and tools for recovery. Together, we'll build a stronger, more resilient community. Until next time, stay safe, stay strong, and we'll see you on the next episode.